Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you my first episode review from Season 8 of The Loud House. Seeing how Nickelodeon never made a formal announcement of a new season, I started to question if I'd ever be back to review any new episodes of the series following Season 7. But hey, here we are with the 8th season, so my question has finally been answered. Anyway, I think we all know the routine by now, so let's get right into my first review for Season 8 of The Loud House. Today's episode is Homeward Bound. In this episode, Lori comes home after deciding to take a gap year from Fairway University, and when she plans to meet with a realtor, her siblings sabotage her chances of finding an apartment, and Lori once again living with her family becomes a nightmare. This was a very interesting way to begin the new season because it once again changed the status quo. Or I guess technically reset everything back to how it was before Season 5. I was honestly not expecting Lori to return home after spending the better part of 3 seasons attending college and only making sporadic appearances every once in a while. However, I can appreciate this new realistic direction her character is taking. If you think something you're majoring in at college may not be your future after all, you shouldn't keep dumping money into a program that won't be as beneficial as you thought it would. On the one hand, Lori taking time off from Fairway to decide if golf is really what she wants to do for the rest of her life is a little conflicting. Golfing has been a huge part of her character for years, and she pretty much had her future figured out as early as the Season 3 episode Driving Ambition. But on the other hand, her taking time off from college is not a bad idea either. Just like Clyde keeping his options open as mentioned in Don't Escargot, Lori is still young and has time to explore other possibilities before making a final decision on what she wants to do for a full-time career. That's rational and mature thinking on her part, and I give her a point for that. Of course, that's more than I can say about her younger siblings, who were shocked when Lori said she was planning to move into her own apartment instead of living at home with them. They devised a scheme to make sure their sister doesn't move out, which involved Luann impersonating a realtor and showing Lori a few apartments that she absolutely cannot stand. Chunk's van, Scoots and Tyler's room at Sunset Canyon, a mausoleum at the cemetery, and the garbage dump. As a result, Lori ends up staying with her family, but because living at Fairway made her more independent and prefers having her own space, the typical Loud family chaos becomes a major inconvenience. She grows increasingly frustrated with every bad thing happening around her, the worst being Lenny causing her to oversleep and being late for a job interview at the Burnt Bean. Speaking of which, why would Lori apply for a job at a coffee shop when she was last seen working as a manager at Lynn's table back in Season 4? We never get an answer to that question, and I don't think we ever will. Also, on a quick side note regarding all the chaos she's forced to endure, Lori said not being able to sleep in her old bedroom because of Lenny and Tanya caused her to develop eye bags. It's funny because she already had them when the episode started, and she's had them in previous episodes as well as the Netflix movie. Anyway, after failing to get the job she applied for, Lori's siblings predictably admit to sabotaging her chances of finding an apartment, and thus we have another example of the classic liar reveal trope. They explain how they didn't want to lose their big sister a second time, but they didn't realize how hard it would be for her to live at home again after being on her own for so long. In the end, they agreed to help their big sister find an actual realtor, but surprisingly, Lori ends up moving next door into Mr. Grouse's newly cleaned out garage, presumably the same one that got wrecked in GarageBand. This new living arrangement seems a little weird on the surface, but I like it because it's a win-win situation for everyone. Not only does Lori get to stay close to her family while still maintaining her independence, but her rent comes in the form of golf lessons, something Mr. Grouse desperately needs. So yes, Lori is now going to live with the neighbor who sold her his old car back in the Season 4 finale. It's quite fascinating when you really think about it. Overall, this episode took elements from previous Lori-focused episodes such as GarageBand, Don't You Forget About Me, and Crash Course, just to name a few, and the final product is fairly decent with its share of good and not so good things. One of the biggest takeaways was the subtle resetting of the original status quo, with Lori returning to the Loud House as a main cast member. She was written very well to reflect how much she's grown and matured throughout the series, and she was easily the best character of the whole episode. Her siblings, on the other hand, not so much. The story was just another case of characters sabotaging another character's goals and opportunities for their own selfish benefit, and then admitting to what they had been trying to do. I get why they did what they did, but for the kids to get all depressed about Lori not wanting to live with them after getting on just fine without her for 3 seasons just seemed to come from out of nowhere. Regardless, everything worked out for everyone in the end when it came to Lori's new living space, and I'll admit the scene where Lori was saying goodbye to her parents was very sweet. Luann's fake realtor performance was amusing, the Loud family craziness was exactly as you'd expect, and the lesson Lori's siblings learn is that their big sister is growing up and becoming more independent, a life lesson we all have to learn sooner or later. The episode leaves you wondering what kind of full-time adventures Lori will have with her siblings in their hometown moving forward. forward? We'll just have to wait and find out. With that said, I give Homeward Bound a 7.8 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Homeward Bound. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.